Hello my friends and welcome back to Cruise 118. I'm John Cooper and with us once again we've got our destination expert Karen Worrall. Karen, welcome back.
Thank you very much, John. It's lovely to be back.
It's always lovely to have you with us. Now then, today we are going to the most fabulous place and concentrating on a destination that if you've been to before, I know you'll want to go back, and it's probably one of your favourite destinations. And if you haven't, it's probably on your bucket list. We're talking of Alaska. Now, Alaska is wonderful, and I know, Karen, you've spent a lot of time there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to have spent 7 summer seasons working there on ships, and it's a beautiful part of the world. There's something for everyone, so let's take a look at it. So today we're going to look at the northernmost part of the United States, the 49th state, which is Alaska. It has incredible natural beauty, a rugged terrain, mountains, rivers, forests, and wildlife unlike anywhere else on Earth. We're going to the last frontier of Alaska. Now, Alaska has 3 million lakes, thousands of rivers, hundreds of miles of evergreen forests, truly breathtaking views, and dramatic, impressive glaciers. Now, cruises to Alaska start from Seattle, Washington, from British Columbia and Vancouver in Canada, and also from Seward in Alaska. So there's lots of places you can go from, and it's really a great place to visit.
Sounds gorgeous, doesn't it? Well, we've got some great deals for you today as well. I say we're going to be cruising from both Seattle and also from Vancouver, and we've got deals with some of the best cruise lines to go cruising in Alaska with, including the likes of Holland America, and also we've got the likes of Celebrity and and Princess. It's absolutely amazing and you're going to love them all, so stay where you are. You might want a pen and paper as well to make notes and things as well, because it's also going to be great. Now we're going to be taking you around all the major destinations in Alaska, so I'll tell you what have we got next?
Well, let's take a closer look at Alaska and what it's like to go there. So one of the main reasons to go to Alaska is, of course, the glaciers. They're absolutely incredible and they're fantastic to see again and again. The wild terrain in Alaska is always changing and always impressive. And so it's a great place to visit by ship, because normally if you go by land, you'd have to hike for a couple of days or many hours to get to see the glaciers. But on a ship, you sail right up to it. And it's very relaxing. You see these impressive icy structures. You can just sit on your private balcony or any of the ship's outdoor spaces, maybe sit and sip a hot chocolate, or even while you're in the jacuzzi. Wow. And you can watch the glaciers from the ship. So it's a great way to see it. You'll see the icebergs. And one of my favorite events is when you see and you even hear the icebergs when they calf like this. You can see it right here, and it sounds something like thunder. You'll never forget the first time you experience it. The feeling is just amazing. And you see these huge chunks of ice falling into the water there. So it's wonderful to see. You can do fantastic tours there. You can take helicopter tours up above the glaciers, where you even land on them, and you can put crampons on your shoes and take a walk along a glacier. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime sort of experience. And also up on the glaciers, they have musher camps with the husky dogs. This is a wonderful thing you can do. The dogs take you out for a ride, and you get to see the whole area that way. Also, you can go to see Mendenhall Glacier, which is near Juneau, and this is from Tongass National Park. It is the largest protected forest in the USA. And a memorable way to visit Mendenhall is to take a canoe ride down the river. So you can go right up to the base of it, or you can hike through the tall trees and look for bears on the way, like these little cuties here. Now, there are bears to see, so if you love them, keep an eye out wherever you go. But there's animals on land and also at sea as well. So keep an eye out for the polar bears, the brown bears, and the black bears on land. Keep an eye out for the American bald eagles up in the sky. And then also, while you're out at sea, look out for whale watching. Some of the best whale watching in the world is in Alaska. You can see these fantastic humpback whales. There's also seals, sea lions, and otters. So you get to see a whole huge amount of wildlife. And it's very easy to see them. You can see them on tours, or you can often just see them directly from your ship. Now, we've got some humpback whales here. These are bubble netting. which is not something you normally see very often in the wild. It's when the whales actually work in groups together and they swim around the fish under the water, creating a net of bubbles so that it confuses the fish. And then all the whale has to do, swim up through the middle with his mouth open and grab his lunch. So it's pretty good.
Lunch is served.
Exactly. Sushi,
It really is.
Alaska style.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be done, hasn't it? It's got to be done. And now what we want to do is we want to move on now to the first of our cruises. Now, this is a brilliant cruise, and we're going to be going from Seattle in Washington. Now, Seattle is absolutely brilliant. First of all, the major thing it's got is the tower. Now, that tower was built in 1962 for the World Fair. They don't have World Fairs anymore, do they? Anyway, and it's also the coffee capital of the world. It's where Starbucks comes from originally. And you can actually go on a tour and do all the coffee tasting at Starbucks. Absolutely, you just gotta love that. And also, Seattle is home of Boeing. You know, the great big aircraft, the 747s, the 757s and all that sort of thing. And you can actually go on a tour. It's a bit of a geeky thing, but it's good. And they also have a monorail that goes all the way around, which is just a great way to take in the city. You can do that from the airport as well, into the city centre. It's a great way of doing it. Now then, our first ship we're going on is the Celebrity Solstice. And this is a wonderful ship. And obviously we're going to Alaska. So let's have a look what you can expect on board. Now with Celebrity, it is 5-star modern luxury. That's what you're going for here. It's a level of service that if you haven't been on a Celebrity cruise, you won't have even had anything near it. The different restaurants they have as well. The food is, well, in my opinion, it's beyond compare. It really is. You're going to love it. And it's so sophisticated. And they have special restaurants like this. This is blue. This is especially for the suite guests. So, you know, a bit of exclusivity and stuff like that, which you're going to love. And of course, Celebrity now is all inclusive. You've got your classic drink package included. You've got all your gratuities and your tips included. And of course, you've got your Wi-Fi package. Doesn't that look gorgeous? And then of course, there's the sommeliers helping you choose your wines. You know, it's exactly what you want from a high-end holiday, because that's what this is. It's a high-end holiday. Now we're going to start off by flying you from the UK out to Seattle in Washington. Now when you get to Seattle, we're going to put you up overnight in a lovely 4-star hotel, so you can settle into the coffee culture, do a bit of sightseeing and all that. And then we're going to cruise out to Ketchikan, which you're going to love. We're going to tell you more about these destinations in a few moments' time, so stay with us. You're going to love it. And then we're going to cruise out into lovely places like, for instance, Glacier Bay. And, it's just wonderful. Wonderful places. Then we're into Juneau, and this is the state capital. It's the only state capital in America where you can't drive to. You've got to either fly or go by sea. It's amazing. It really is. And then from there, we're out again into the Glacier Bay, cruising around there, and then to Skagway. Skagway you're going to love as well. Once again, we're going to tell you more about these places in a few moments' time, so stay with us. We've got loads to tell you. And then we're into Victoria in Canada, which is like stepping back into oldie worldy France before we end up back in Seattle. Now, what I would say to you is, if you're going to do this, why not think about adding a couple of extra nights in Seattle at the beginning and end? Talk to one of our experts. You know, the number's there on the bottom of the screen, and they can help you out. It's just brilliant. It really is. I'll tell you what, let's have a look at the full details on this one, shall we? Let's have a look at the full details on the screen. So we're going to Alaska and on Celebrity Cruises. This is based on the 1st of September this year. And we've included your direct flights with a luggage allowance, your first night's 4-star pre-cruise hotel stay in Seattle. You've got a 7-night all-inclusive cruise with your classic drink package, Wi-Fi and tips, all included. Now, it's 9 nights you're away for, but if you want to extend it, make it up to your 14 nights, I would do that. Just call the number on the bottom of the screen, 0808 2585 118, and, just get involved. Get involved, and you're going to love it. Got any questions? That's what we're here for, and we'll help you out straight away. Okay then, shall we move on?
So next up, let's take a look at some of the landscape highlights of Alaska. Alaska draws in millions of visitors each year for its natural beauty, wild, rugged landscapes, and rich history. Alaska cruises go to many interesting ports full of culture and stories. There's Sitka with Sitka National Historical Park with its totem trail, which is just a 20-minute walk from where cruise ships dock. So it's very easy to get there and see the 20 totem poles here, which were created hundreds of years ago by Native American groups. You can meet native groups on shore excursions and listen to their stories, histories, and learn about native ways of life, modern and ancient. We've got the Inside Passage where you can see beautiful wildlife from your balcony. Keep an eye out, you never know when you're going to see some whales. Endicott Arm is a beautiful spot on the Inside Passage with surging waterfalls, granite mountains, and beautiful valleys. The Dawes Glacier is an impressive glacier to behold as it stands at more than 600 feet tall.
Wow.
Now, Hubbard Glacier is the largest tidewater glacier in North America. It's 7 miles long and is as tall as a 30-story skyscraper. In Icy Strait Point, you can see the small village of Hoona, which has a population of 1,350 people, mostly Tlingit Nation and native tribes, and it gives you a glimpse of indigenous life in Alaska. So it is a fantastic place to see as well. You can take shore excursions out into nature there, or you can even spot whales from ashore or go and learn a little bit more about the local culture. And it's very useful on all Alaska cruises. My top tip for you is carry your camera with you everywhere, even if it's just your phone, because you never know what you're going to see from your balcony when you're out having a coffee, as well as ashore. So it's really fantastic.
Take some selfies.
Yep, try and get one with a whale in the background.
With a whale in the background, yep, that's a good one.
I wouldn't try it with a bear. That's not recommended. All right, so let's have a look at some of the ports in Alaska. Now, first up, we're going to look at Juneau. Now, Juneau is the capital city of Alaska. It has a population of more than about 32,000 people, so not a lot for the capital.
It's not big, is it?
It's not, but it's really cool. It's got more hiking trails than roads, so it's ideal if you're an outdoor fan. From here, you can take a seaplane and fly above 5 spectacular glaciers if you like. You can go to Mendenhall Glacier, or take a bus out there, or go on a tour. This is the view that you get from the top of Mount Roberts here.
Wow.
You can take the tramway up there from right next to your ship. As you can see, you get a beautiful view from there. You can walk around the town very easily. Downtown is just 5 minutes walk from where all the ships are. There's lots of little places you can go for Alaska souvenirs, homemade things from the local area. Plus, it's a great port to spot bears. I love bears. You can see brown bears there, black bears. So a great thing is if you do head out to Mendenhall Glacier, that's where I've seen some bears. So always ask the rangers where the bears are.
Wow.
And if you're a seafood fan, then my tip is go to Tracy's King Crab Shack. Now these are Alaskan king crab legs we saw there. They're as big as your arm, and they are absolutely delicious. And so you can try that, dip it in some butter, have a little bit of crab chowder as well. It's very, very nice.
I do like a bit of crab as well. It really is brilliant. Now then, earlier on we spoke a little bit about a wonderful place called Vancouver. Now, for me, Vancouver is brilliant because I remember sitting there in my bedroom with a great big window watching the seaplanes land and take off. It's absolutely glorious. It's such a diverse place as well, so diverse, it's wonderful, and there's so much to see and do. Do you know, there's things like on the river, you can get little boats on the river, and you go on a seaplane yourself if you want as well. And some lovely places to go to are like Grenville Island, where you can go across on a riverboat, or you can drive there, or what have you. But it's got a market there that sells everything, and also a great place to have lunch. Great. Stanley Park is absolutely wonderful as well on the front there, where you can go on the hire bikes, including electric bikes, so you can try that. And a place you must go to is Capilano Park. It's got like these rope bridges, like on My Celebrity Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah, I love Capilano.
It's absolutely fantastic. And there's tote bowls and all that sort of thing as well. It's absolutely fantastic. if you've got time at the beginning or end of your cruise, I would say stay there and have a little go, because it's something you're just going to love. You really are. Now then, I'll tell you what, let's get on with another deal, shall we?
Yeah.
And we're off with Holland America this time round. Do you know what? You're going to love it. They have like smaller ships, which are really lovely, but quality, quality, quality all the way. And these were one of the very first cruise lines to cruise into Alaska, and they get to a few more different places that other cruise lines can't get to. So it's really good for that. The food on board is renowned. It really is brilliant. You'll just love everything about this cruise. This, by the way, going on the 6th of May next year, so plenty of time to sort of save your pennies and get yourself ready for it. And as you go round the ship, you'll just be amazed at the quality and the level of service. It really is. It's an amazing ship. They've got larger staterooms and verandas, or balconies to me and you, than most other cruise ships, which on an Alaska holiday, I think that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, you
definitely.
need to get the views around, and once you've experienced it, it's truly, truly amazing. They also do little different things on board. They've got like blending, where you can go and blend your own wine. That's, you know, that sounds great to me. They've got jazz clubs on board. They've got theatres in the round. They've got piano bars and stuff like this. It's great. The entertainment is absolutely superb of an evening. You're going to love it all. They've also got an observatory lounge, and also they have a wonderful library on top deck with a coffee shop in it. It just smells gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? You're going to love this entire cruise. Now, we're going to be starting by flying you from the UK out to Vancouver. Now, as I say, you know, if I was you, I'd spend a couple of extra nights in Vancouver, because you're going to need it. It's absolutely brilliant. And then we're going to cruise out, and we're going to cruise around the Alaska Inside Passage, which is absolutely wonderful. Just taking the views, isn't it? You know, and watch out for the wildlife. Then we're into Sitka. Once again, we're going to tell you more about these sort of places a little later on in the program, so don't worry if you haven't seen it yet. Do you know, it's absolutely the state capital. So, you know, these are the places where you can go and get your little presents and stuff like that. And then we're going to cruise into Tracy Arm. Once again, wildlife and all that sort of thing. You're going to absolutely love it. Then we're into Ketchikan. Do you know, can I just say, once you've done this sort of thing, you're going to be back for more and more and more. Then we're going to cruise the Alaska Inside Passage, which is absolutely superb, before we cruise you back into Vancouver. As I say, there's so much to see and do in Vancouver, isn't there? You know, a couple of nights there isn't long enough. You're going to need more time there. So talk to one of our experts. The numbers on the bottom of the screen there. They'll sort everything out for you. Let's have a look at the full details on the screen, shall we? I mean, for me, this is a cruise that you'll want to do time and time again, because you're never tired of the Alaskan cruises, do you?
Definitely not.
It's
So much to see.
It's just wonderful. And what I would say to you is, consider how far you're going, where you're going, and look at those prices, which for me, it just means it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. If you want to know more, just give us a call. Numbers on the bottom of the screen there, 0808 2585 118, or go onto the website cruise118.com/TV, and you can click onto it and have a look at the details. But if you want to talk to the experts, give us a call. We've got someone waiting for your call right now. It couldn't be easier. They're the details. And you know what? If I was you, I'd get involved in that one straight away. Great deal, that, wasn't it?
Very nice deal. I would like to go on that one.
Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? So where are we off to next?
Next off, we're going to go to Ketchikan and Sitka.
Ooh.
So Ketchikan is the salmon capital of the world, and you should definitely try some while you're there. Fresh catches are available on local menus, on tours, or even in cans or vacuum packed, so you can take them home. Now this is my favorite thing to do in Alaska. You can head out on the Bering Sea Crab Fisherman's Tour, or you can head out to the Misty Fjords on a plane, or even go snorkeling. It's absolutely amazing. It is cold, but you've got a wetsuit on, which is very thick, and it's no colder than going out in the UK. Ketchikan also has the largest collection of Northwest totem poles in the world. There's also the Lumberjack Show, which is a great fun thing to do there. It has real athletic competitive lumberjacks showing skills in a number of events like log rolling, axe throwing, a good fun family fun show. And then also we have Creek Street. This is the oldest part of Ketchikan, filled with colourful buildings, stories, music and local bars. Now, this is my top tip for Ketchikan. This is the Bering Sea Crab Fisherman Tour. I took this picture. They caught this massive octopus. It goes out on the Aleutian Ballad. If you've ever seen the TV show The Deadliest Catch, this was featured in season 2. It's now a tour boat. You go out and you stop near Annette Island, a native reserve where you see 200, well, you might not see all of them, but 200 American bald eagles are there. It's a fantastic thing to see. And now we've got Sitka. This is a lovely town. The national park with the Sitka totem poles are right next to it. It's a great place to walk around. It's only 20 minutes walk from the ship. There's lots of things to see there, and the old downtown area is very nice and very friendly.
Sounds wonderful. Also, I suppose you get lots of little gifts there as well.
Yeah, it's a great place if you like to take some souvenirs home too. All right, so let's take a look at another port.
Right, where are we off to?
This time we're going to take a look at Skagway.
Ooh.
Now, Skagway is a small town in southeast Alaska which prospered during the boom of the gold rush in 1896. Now, it's like real-life cowboy western town with a few jewellery shops thrown in here and there. And it has a lot of history and a lot of character. The town grew up to prosperity and with a lot of people hoping to strike it rich. Some of them did, some of them not so much. And the White Pass Railway was there to take the miners out into the mountains. And now it's one of the most beautiful train rides in the world. So I would definitely recommend taking the tour of that. Or you can go zip lining, like you can see here.
Wow.
If you're feeling very adventurous, you can take a kayak out on the water and just relax and see the beautiful scenery here. It's a great leisurely way to see all the nature all around you. And you can even go husky dog sledding, and you can even meet the dogs and the puppies. This is a good alternative to the helicopter tour because it's a lot cheaper.
Because they're expensive, aren't they?
Exactly. And so this is one you can go out, you take a ride out with the dogs on the sled, you meet them. There's about 200 dogs there. It's quite loud, but it's great. You meet them all. And when they have puppies, you get to go meet the puppies as well, like you saw there. But they do check your bag for puppies when you leave, somebody told me.
Well, obviously they checked yours.
Maybe.
They need to. Right, let's get on with our next deal, shall we? And this time we're going with Princess Cruises on the Majestic Princess around the Inside Passage. Now, Princess Cruises, absolutely wonderful, as you'd expect. Do you know, medallion class, so that means your little medallion opens up your doors for your room. You don't have to put your key in or anything like that. It also, you can order drinks from your iPad and the waiter knows where you are. It's just brilliant. Look at this. The Italian-inspired piazza is amazing. Now, it's surrounded by all sorts of wonderful things, like the Shops of Princess. There's the Spirit International Cafe there. That International Cafe Bar is open 24 hours a day as well. And the selection of food changes through the day. There's also other bars and cafes and things around there as well. It's just so much. And it's also a great place for entertainment, because entertainment just happens there, especially of an evening. It's lovely. And you go round a princess ship and, you know, you're there and it's lovely and it's just a relaxing place. And Princess have come up with lots of little inspired little things which I love. Things like they do the movies under the stars and stuff like that. And they have lots of relaxing places as well. And look at that. An infinity pool at the back of the ship. You can imagine yourself there, can't you? The exquisite dining. 25 bars and restaurants. I mean, say, who'd have thought you could do this? You know, al fresco dining. If you want a quality holiday, this is it. It's a quality holiday that you're going to really, really love. Now, this is a great cruise. As I say, it's going on the 15th of September this year. Now, we're going to fly you from the UK out to Vancouver. Now, as I said before, if you're going to go to Vancouver, go to Vancouver, spend a few days there, give us a call and we'll go through all the details with you as well. From there, we're off to Ketchikan. We were just talking about it there, weren't we? It sounds a wonderful place. And, you know, this is your chance to visit it and create your memories as well, because that's what cruise holidays are. They're memories. Then we're off to the state capital, Juneau. And it's, once again, fascinating. And for a capital city, it's not that big. It's not that big. And then we're into Skagway. Once again, I mean, we've just been hearing about it, and, you know, it sounds like a wonderful place, doesn't it? And then we go cruising. We're going to go cruising around some of the wonderful places like the Icy Point. Do you know, how do you fancy that? Look at the whales. I mean, whale watching there is brilliant, isn't it? I mean, you know, get your pictures and all that sort of thing. Then the Glacier Bay National Park, absolutely gorgeous. And then we're into Hubbard Bay. Once again, these places are places you're going to love and you want to go back to. And then we cruise you back into Vancouver, which I personally think is brilliant. Just my opinion, but I'd go there if I was you. I'll tell you what, without further ado, let's have a look at the full details on this one, shall we? Because I know you aren't going to want to get involved in it. Remember that this, where you're going and what you're doing is absolutely amazing. You'll see some of the staterooms are already sold out. And I think that's indicative of so many people want to go back there right now. Do you know, they do. All you do is you give us a call, 0808 2585 118. And, you know, got any questions? That's what we're here for. Or go to cruise118.com/TV and get all the details there as well. Now then, Karen, you can tour as well, can't you, after your cruise?
You can, absolutely. So you can go cruising around Alaska, and you can also extend your trip by having an extended land portion of your tour before or after the cruise aspect. So let's take a look at that. So another way to see more of Alaska is to extend your trip before or after with one of the Alaska cruise tours. Several cruise lines, including Celebrity, Holland America and Princess, offer cruise tours in Alaska, and this allows you to spend more time in the wilderness of America's last frontier by land. You'll stay in luxurious lodges with incredible views and go on tours to see the wonders of Denali National Park. Now, Denali is home to the tallest mountain in North America, called Mount Denali, which used to be known as Mount McKinley. Denali is the mountain's original name given by the native Alaskan group, the Koyukon Athabascans, and it means the Great One, and it's easy to see why. It's a beautiful area to visit, and you will see Alaska's big 5 animals, hopefully if you're lucky: moose, bears, Dall sheep, caribou, and wolves. An ATV ride is another great way to explore the wild terrain. And there's so much that you can choose to do in the Denali area. You can head out to Talkeetna, which is a small town near the national park. And as well as Talkeetna, seeing all the nature there, you can go out on the water, see what it's really like, experience the wilderness. And then you go to Anchorage, where the Alaska Native Heritage Center is. And this is near the beautiful Alyeska area. So you can learn more about Native Alaskans here and get really immersed in the culture. So there's a lot to do, a lot to see. Kind of whatever your interests are, there is something for you to do, especially if you love the great outdoors. It is absolutely wonderful for that. Now, Fairbanks is another great place to visit, where you can actually still mine for gold. You can go out gold panning if you want.
Wow.
I got a tiny little nugget there. I don't think it was worth very much. But you can also head out on the Wilderness Express train, which is an adventurer's dream. You get to see the landscape beautifully from there. And Alaska is just, overall, it's wonderful. It's all about nature. It's about seeing the animals, the welcoming people, the fantastic seafood. And it is a real adventure in the last frontier. So book it today.
Sounds brilliant. Well, listen, that's about all we've got time for today. Thanks for being with us again today, Karen. And we'll see you next time with Cruise 118. In the meantime, carry on cruising.